Everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. So, Q loans have kicked it into high gear after the Arizona FrAudit fail of last week, and showing that Trump did in fact lose the 2020 election by even wider margin than previously reported. They're so spun by the fact that no fraud was uncovered that they're now coming up with new conspiracy theories, as we all knew they would. I said it. I knew it was going to happen. This is where we are. So, and just so you guys know, I did actually watch the live stream of the cyber ninjas giving their executive summary, giving their report to the Senate. I took notes. I plan on doing a deeper dive on all of the stuff that they mentioned, because some of it did sound concerning, but there were answers for all of it. But I will explain all that in the days to come. But here's the deal. Here's what's going on. Someone has been circulating a fake Cyber Ninjas executive summary on the internet, and they're claiming that it's the real report. They're claiming that they kept it from you. They kept everybody from seeing it. So before I get into that, first, I want to talk about some of these other new conspiracies coming out of Q world. So first off, Joel Altman, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. He's a conservative. He's a businessman. He's become kind of famous in Q land because he alleged on his YouTube show that he heard Dominion employee Eric Coomer tell Antifa that he had made sure that Trump wouldn't win, that he had somehow rigged the election. So that's where that whole thing originated from. Altman claimed that he heard this statement on an Antifa phone call. He said, I infiltrated the group. Now, of course, he's provided zero evidence. No evidence whatsoever of any of this. But this is one of the things that the right points to as proof and evidence of a rigged election. And it's why Coomer has received so many death threats. And he had to hire security. He had to go and hide out with his family. He and his family were receiving death threats. And the fact that these allegations were then amplified by Trump loyalists who have big platforms, they have a large following. This is why Coomer has filed a defamation lawsuit. Well, now, according to the Daily Beast, Altman is now blaming the Arizona Senate for failing to deliver on Trump's election fraud lies. He's now saying that the Senate put out a, quote, dog and pony show. That, this was all a sham, essentially. 5 months, 6 months of this FrAudit that was protected by armed Trump supporters, that was filled with Trump supporters, that was run by Trump supporters. But this was all a dog and pony show. And the former 4chan, then 8chan, then 8kun administrator, Ron Watkins, is blaming the Arizona state senator, Wendy Rogers. Watkins, as you guys may recall, is believed by many people to be the person behind the infamous Q postings and all of the conspiracy theories that has that part of the MAGA crowd completely out of their minds. So everybody thinks that he is Q. But he recently shared a video wherein he suggested that Rogers is blocking a real audit. What? I thought this was the real audit. So they hire 2 independent contractors first with no ties to anybody, who are certified to review elections, to do audits, to do real audits. And that wasn't good enough. Then they bring in Trump loyalists, people who literally already believe that the election was stolen. They do an audit, can't find anything concrete to indicate that there was fraud, that there was any kind of rigging that went on. And that's not good enough. Now, oh, no, they're blocking a real audit. All we've been hearing for months is that, oh, this is the most real audit that's ever been conducted. This is the most transparent, most in-depth, most thorough audit ever conducted in the entire country, in the history of our country. But now this isn't a real audit. Really? So his conspiracy theory is hysterical on multiple levels. I mean, obviously for what I just explained, but also considering that Rogers is one of the biggest, or was one of the most vocal and biggest supporters of this FrAudit. This woman has repeatedly called for the election to be decertified over and over again, not just since the results, but even before that. And now she's not good enough. I mean, clearly no level of fealty to Trump, no depths of depravity are enough to appease these people. You simply cannot prove your loyalty to the cause unless you lie, cheat, and steal to deliver the results that they want. That's it. There is nothing else. You can't even come close. You are a fraud, you're a cheat, you're the deep state, unless you give them what they want. They're literally like children throwing a tantrum. And now these Q-loon election deniers, like I said, they've taken it to another level. This one goes to 11 because someone went as far as to create a fake Cyber Ninjas executive summary of their findings. So this fake report included text that was supposedly written by Cyber Ninjas, and it called for the 2020 election to be decertified, or it says that the election should have never been certified, or something to that effect. In addition, this fake report and summary are being peddled, and they're being put out there by, again, people with large followings, and they're saying that this is the original, the real report. These people are now claiming that Cyber Ninjas couldn't share this real report because there were threats made by the Senate. And this fake summary was, of course, picked up and spread all over the conspiracy-soaked right-wing media. The Gateway Pundit, one of Donald Trump's favorites, they posted a story about it, and they claim that this is the authentic, the original Cyber Ninjas report, but it had to be, quote, watered down. They're saying that because of threats made by the Senate, by the Arizona Senate that approved this whole sham audit, then they made threats and told Cyber Ninjas to tone it down. You need to water it down. Even Cyber Ninjas now put out a warning about this new conspiracy theory and this fake summary. Cyber Ninjas issued an official statement, and they said that they don't know who had drafted this fake report. And then they warned that it's not legit. They say they did not write that the election should not be certified. So here's part of their statement. Cyber Ninjas wrote in part, quote, "There is a false version of the executive summary of the Maricopa County Forensic Election Audit Report that is circulating. This false version claims to be an earlier version of the Cyber Ninjas executive summary, but because of false threats from the Senate, it was not used. This is absolutely false." So first, someone needs to get them a thesaurus, because I have never seen the word false used so many times in my life, let alone in just 3 short sentences. Anyway, I said this would happen. The Q MAGA crowd is now creating new conspiracy theories to distract from the failure of the original conspiracy theory. Yeah, this is the biggest sham ever perpetrated on the American people. What Trump is doing, what these people are doing, this is never going to end, guys. This is why when people would say, well, why do you have a problem with them doing this audit? If there's fraud, don't you want to know? It was already proven there was no fraud. There were over 60 court cases. Most of them were laughed out of court. Judges who were appointed by Trump said this is bogus. There is nothing to this. There are sanctions being levied against attorneys who filed these BS legal arguments. There have been as I said, two audits already conducted by independent companies in Arizona. They found nothing wrong. Now you have their own people, their own conspiracy theorists who did this audit, and they've found that Biden won. Everything else that they raised as, oh, this was suspicious. Oh, that was a little concerning. Oh, we don't know what this means or that means. It's all been explained. It's never going to be enough. There's always going to be the next conspiracy theory. There's always an excuse. It has to be rigged. They're not starting with an open mind. They're not starting with, hey, let's see if something happened. They're starting from the premise that something did happen and we're going to find it. And then if we don't find it, there's something else going on. Somebody doesn't want us to find it. There's no appeasing these people. There's no making them happy unless you just say, okay, fine, Trump can be president again. The one-term Trump loser can be president again because you threw a tantrum. That's it. That's the only thing that will ever make them happy. Is there election fraud that goes on? Yes. Was there enough election fraud in the 2020 election to change the results? No. You've had Democrats and Republicans look at this and they've said no. You've had Trump supporters. You've had Trump voters in Georgia. People who voted for Trump both in 2016 and 2020 look at this and say, no, there was no fraud. The numbers add up. Everything matches. I don't know what to tell you. This is dangerous, guys. This is very dangerous. And it's getting people whipped up and it's causing violence. That's my number one issue. The fact that they keep these lies going, the fact that they keep prolonging this and making people think that the deep state has gotten a hold of these people, that, oh, see, yeah, somebody got to Karen Fann. Are you kidding me? If they were going to get to Karen Fann, they would have gotten to her months ago, not 5-6 months in and after the report had been issued. It would have stopped this thing before it got started. And like I said, it's creating violent extremists in this country. It's creating people who believe that something is being stolen from them and they have no other choice but to react with violence. Like the guy who went and parked his truck outside of the Library of Congress and threatened to blow up 2.5 square blocks. We got lucky that time. He didn't have a bomb, but that's what this is creating. So for anybody who says, oh, who cares? Let them do it. What's the big deal? Let them chase their tail. Nothing's ever going to come of it. And, we get the last laugh. No, sorry. They're whipping people into a frenzy and it's dangerous. It's resulting in violence. So I will keep you guys posted as I hear more. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care. I'll talk with you soon.